My name is Wendy Dant-Chesser. I'm President and CEO of One Southern Indiana. We are the Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development organization for Clark and Floyd counties. A lot of the work that we do has been focused on helping the companies that are here attract the employees and the talent that they are looking for to help them be profitable. Also, the key on that is helping to make sure that that workforce and talent is prepared for the jobs not just of today but also for tomorrow. As we've partnered with many different organizations around the region, we are most proud of our partnership with Greater Clark County Schools, and you'll hear more about that shortly. But as we think about the needs of growing our economy, of making our community a better place, we believe in one, I think all of us believe in one very simple idea. The best social program in the world is a good paying job. Think about that. The best social program in the world is a good paying job. So as a community, it's our responsibility to work together to make sure that not only we provide good paying jobs for our residents, but we also have residents who are skilled to take on those good paying jobs. So that's really a very simple way of looking at what our organization does and why we do it. And what you're going to hear about today is a very fantastic donation from Clark County Auto Auction to the Greater Clark County Schools to help all of us achieve that mission. So enough about One Southern Indiana and our philosophy. It is my pleasure to introduce Paul Fetter. Paul is the manager of the Clark County Auto Auction and has been a wonderful partner to One Southern Indiana in many different endeavors. Paul.
Thank you, Wendy. We want to thank everyone for coming out today to celebrate with us this incredible point in Clark County Auto Auction's history. Our journey began here at this location, 1611 East 10th Street, 35 years ago, and we've had great success here. And we're thrilled because our growth has not only given us the opportunity to reinvest here, a mile east of where we stand, investing both in our customers and our employees, and building an ultra-modern 40,000 square foot facility on 40 acres to be the finest auto auction in the United States of America. We're also excited that our success has enabled us to reinvest in the community that has given us so much. And we're proud to present Greater Clark County Schools, the Mark Fetter Center for Professional Learning.
And you'll hear from Dr. Mellon from Greater Clark County Schools shortly. Next, I'd like to invite State Representative Karen Engelmann. She represents District 70, but she's going to say a few words on behalf of the state of Indiana. Representative.
I'm so excited to be here today. This is a wonderful donation from the Fetter family to the Greater Clark County Schools. And our youth are our future, and the more we can do to help educate them to get a good job and go out into the world, the better. Thank you so much to the Fetter family.
Thank you so much. Amy Schellenberg is the Executive Director for Instructional Improvement of Greater Clark County Schools, and this lady has more excitement and more energy. So I'm very pleased to not only work with her, but also to call her my friend. Amy?
Thank you. Thanks so much. They know public speaking is my least favorite thing to do, but that being said, this opportunity to share with you our thanks for this generous gift on behalf of our 800 teachers is just incredible. We make a strong commitment to professional development for our teachers because we really operate from the premise that the most important work in our school corporation occurs closest to the student. Our teachers are our front line, and everything that we do comes from a place of trying to support and encourage them. In 1998, Tom Brokaw coined a term, the greatest generation, and he termed that for the World War II era of citizens who had kind of survived World War II, the Depression. We had a strong economy, strong patriotism, and Rick Dufour took that coined phrase and he changed it to educators and said, currently, we have the greatest generation of educators that America's ever seen. We've got the data to back it in terms of a high graduation rate, more students passing rigorous courses, and all of this happens because of the work of our teachers. Our teachers are accomplishing things in a wildly diverse world that they work in. They never know politically what the climate's going to be, but they show up every single day and face and adapt to changes, and so we're so excited. I wish all of our 800 teachers could be here today. But on behalf of them, I will let you know that since October, our teachers have participated in over 9,000 hours of professional development outside of their workday. We just started kind of tracking that this year for them. And so the gift of this space is just incredible. It recognizes and celebrates their collaboration, their creativity, and they will give back to the community more than you will ever know. So thank you so much.
One Southern Indiana has about 1,060 business members, and these are businesses that are relying on us to coordinate things in the community to help them to solve any of the issues that they're facing. One of the things that they talk about quite regularly is how to create partnerships with education. And before I met Dr. Mellon, public education was a system, an institution that did its work, and kids came out of the school and they were ready to work. That's about all I knew about it. But when I met Dr. Mellon, he said, not only are we going to try to improve our school system, we're going to invite you, the business community, in to help us. How many times do school superintendents open the doors and say, come on in, we want your advice, we want your help? And I know he'll tell you more about it, but over 370 businesses have taken him up on that offer to try to make the school system a better place. It was already good, but we can't be satisfied with good, we've got to get to great. And that is truly, I believe, what is a driver for Dr. Andy Mellon, who you'll hear from next. Dr. Mellon?
Thank you, Wendy, very much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Representative Engelmann, thank you so much for taking your time. I'd like to acknowledge a couple of our board members because none of this is possible without their support. Teresa Perkins and Teresa Zolman, thank you so much for being here today and representing our school board. As you can tell by Amy's words, I'm very blessed to have a great team that really helps to make things happen, and great things are occurring in our school system because of the 1,400 plus employees that we have, and we have a lot of them standing over here. Our executive team, Deputy Superintendent Travis Hare, Assistant Superintendent Steve Griffin and Kim Hartledge. We have Chief Financial Officer back there, Tom Deichel. Of course, you've met Amy already, Ann Schneff, Executive Director of Special Education. We also have Erin Bajorquez, who is behind the scenes always. She never wants acknowledgement, but she helps put all of this together. So we have a great team, and there's some others I'll acknowledge here in a minute. On behalf of our school board, it is a great honor to accept the Fetter's family extremely generous donation of this building and property that has enjoyed such a long and successful history at this location. In all my years in education, I have been fortunate to meet many great people who have made extraordinary commitments to school systems. However, the Fetter's Benevolent Act, in my experience, is unprecedented and is indicative of the family's strong character. So Fetters, thank you so much for this. It's been a pleasure to get to know and work with the Fetters, especially Matt and Paul, over the past couple of years. It is Greater Clark's hope that our future plans for this building and property to become the Mark Fetter Center for Professional Learning will honor the Fetter family, as well as benefit the city of Jeffersonville and its 10th Street Corridor project. Although our specific plans have not been finalized, we plan to renovate the outside of this property through upgraded fencing and landscaping. We also plan to renovate the interior of the building to accommodate medium and large conferencing areas to accommodate future district professional development efforts. As we transition to a forward next generation learning community, professional development of our staff is a point of emphasis. The Professional Learning Center will provide much needed space to conduct strategic planning and professional development opportunities for our staff and for our Forward NGL Steering Committee and tactic teams. Today, we have several of our key instructional staff with us. Supervisor Karen Spencer, College and Career Coordinators Jeannie Null and Jason Graves, and instructional coaches Leslie Pendleton and Lindsay Combs. All of those individuals will be taking full advantage of this building as we move down the road, and I can't thank them enough for all they do to help provide the direction and leadership to our teaching staff that you do on a daily basis. In addition, we hope to use the building to house the Greater Clark Education Foundation office, and we have begun preliminary conversations with a couple of other community organizations who have been Greater Clark partners and whose presence in the building will be mutually beneficial. We will begin developing specific renovation plans and a timeline in the near future, and hope renovation can begin before the end of this calendar year. In closing, Greater Clark can't even begin to thank the Fetter family enough for its generous donation. We look forward to making this location something they can be proud of, and we wish the Fetter family much future success in its new location just down the road. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mellon. Matt Federer is president of the Clark County Auto Auction, and all the things that Dr. Mellon said about a business with a very civic attitude, a very civic engagement and way of giving back, I think Matt, Phyllis, who you'll hear from shortly, and Paul all represent that very well. So on behalf of the Fetter family, I'd like to invite Matt Federer to say a few words. Matt.
First off, I want to thank you all for being a part of today. We really appreciate you taking time to come see what we are up to. When we first announced that we were moving 2 years ago down the road, the first call I received about this property was from Dr. Mellon, and they've had so much interest in this property ever since. We really wanted them to have it. But my family's goal from the beginning was to find a quality user for this property because we have so much history here. Our customers and staff that have been coming here for 35 years, they're going to drive by this place on the regular, and we want them to see, we want them to be proud of what's going on here, and we think they will be. During the past 2 years, we've had dozens of meetings with Greater Clark, and we've become extremely close to their administration and their board. And we've learned a lot about they have an incredible vision and their desires as a school corporation and as a community, and have explored ways that we could help them obtain their goals. Since our initial meeting with Greater Clark, we knew it was a great fit and that it would be a wonderful partnership. We admire the great work that Greater Clark is doing and excited to see our building used for something that will not only impact the community at large, but every child and teacher involved.
And our final speaker bears the title of CEO of Clark County Auto Auction. She's also Matt's mom, but I'd like to invite Phyllis Fetter up. Phyllis?
Thank you all for coming. 35 years ago, my husband Mark and his father Charles started a small auto auction on this property. And since then, we have added on and rebuilt and have been fortunate enough to continue to outgrow our space here. Mark lived his life to the fullest and touched the lives of many people. Anyone who knew him knew of his generosity, humility, and selflessness. He demonstrated these traits again and again over the years while building this business. And although Mark is no longer with us, I know he would be extremely proud that we have chosen to donate this facility and that it can continue to make the community a better place for years to come. We are delighted and honored to donate this property to Greater Clark County Schools to use as a professional learning center in Mark's memory.
The Mark Federer Center for Professional Learning. What a wonderful legacy. What a wonderful gift. And I think our community, not just the school corporation, but our community as a whole will benefit for generations to come. So thank you all for being part of the official ceremony. Now the fun begins. We're going to do a ribbon cutting ceremony. I will turn it over to Connie to direct us. There she is. She's got the ribbon and the scissors, and we'll do several photo ops, and then we'll actually cut the ribbon. Thank you all for being here today.
Everybody ready to cut it? Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yay!